up in Dayton area. They went out to this karaoke bar where you fill your own beer up or drinks.
Okay.
There's taps. You just go up and then you pay for as many drinks as you filled up.
Okay.
And then they didn't tip because it's like, well,
who's the tip?
You literally grabbed glasses, poured our own thing. There was nobody even.
And when you're done, you put them in a bin.
Right, something like that.
Okay, sure.
And then apparently, as they walked out, like the security guard or whatever, they all talked. Like they didn't even tip us. They, like, gave him a bad attitude. Said, "Oh, thanks for not giving us any tips or whatever." And he's like we didn't see anybody. Nobody even did anything.
Tip who?
Like
tip who?
Where's the
for
tip?
What?
Yeah.
Get away from me. I hate shit like that.
Right. Because you guys opened up the location.
Here's a tip. Get a different job if you want a fucking tip. How about that? Welcome to another episode of Don Draper's Den. In this podcast, we discuss branding and marketing. It touches so many aspects of our lives. We also talk a bunch of trash about music and food and culture and nostalgia and each other and so much more. We hope that you're entertained. We hope you get some insight from two marketing insiders like ourselves. I'm Chris. This is Ernie. In this episode, we get into DoorDashing. Like hardcore.
Yeah.
And what else, man? We talked a bunch of trash about
how culture can impact marketing and branding.
That's a very polished intro.
Talked about the user, what the user experience culture.
True. Also having ice cream thrown at your house when you should have probably got it DoorDashed. Don't just call my girlfriend on that. And so with that, guys, we hope you're entertained by it. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe, comment. We want to spread the word on this thing. We appreciate your guys' support as always. So without further ado, pour yourself a glass and let's get into this.
No, cheers.
Cheers to you, man. So, why are you beating up on your dog, bro?
Hey, it wasn't my fault. I should have known, though, because Jaeger, he is my shadow. He follows everywhere that I go. And so, I should have known he would be waiting right outside of the bathroom door.
Just patiently waiting.
Patiently waiting for Dad.
Just kind of
the door and
keeping an eye on shit, probably looking out for the bad guy.
I should have known.
You know what I mean?
He's always like that, though.
Is it really?
I know how to raise. If there's anything I know how to do with dogs, I know how to raise schnauzers.
Yeah.
And those dogs are really loyal.
Is that?
And he will, I hold him all the time. I hold him when he's a puppy. Yeah. And he would just follow me everywhere. Where's Dad going? I go where he goes. Right. So I should have known, but I didn't. And I apologize to him for stubbing his little paw with the door, bathroom door.
A little moment.
He was a little scared of Dad for a second.
Sure. Yeah. Why? That's what he said. That was his inner dialogue. Why, old man? When I've been so loyal.
Yeah.
Why have you smited thee? He probably talks like your old lady, man. All in Victorian.
He sleeps right up against my back or the crook of my leg when I'm sleeping. That dog's everywhere. That's why he gets frustrated when I don't bring him to the office. Right. He's like, what am I to you? What am I? Am I like all these other dogs?
Yeah, he only speaks like he's in like an Edgar Allan Poe story or something. Yes. Why have you forsaken me?
Right? I love that dog though.
Yeah.
He's my little mini me. He has a beard, the fuzzy eyebrows.
That feels right.
Mm-hmm.
What? But they're bigger, right? Isn't a regular? Is that
that's a miniature schnauzer?
Yeah,
so Jaeger's a miniature schnauzer. Yeah. Then you got standard schnauzers and you got giant schnauzers. And I've had a giant schnauzer, amazing dog, beautiful.
How big are they?
They are technically genetically different dogs. They're not the same dog technically.
Really?
Yeah. Because they're bred with different breeds
for the size.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. But they're the same.
But they look the same.
Yeah.
And the way that you groom them is very similar to each other.
Right.
But technically they're different genetically different dogs.
Stupid as shit. So I was watching, I don't know, it was YouTube. I don't know what I was watching, but it was something came on YouTube. And I usually throw in like funny animal videos on the weekends. Kids are there, you know? And yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like it was a big schnauzer. I couldn't tell you one from the other. It looked like a big, pain in the ass dog. And, but it had this, as they do, right? It has the beard, right? And it was big enough that it had like a lifted bowl, right? So I'm like, oh, little guy, and you see the typical haircut, right? Yeah. So I'm like, all right, schnauzer, got it. But then it like got out of the bowl and there was any number of towels on the tiles. Like, oh, right? Why would you do this to yourself? Shave it off.
Yes, no. Listen, with schnauzers, that's where their authority is, their power. You shave that beard off, it becomes no.
Shut up.
I'm very clear. Before I met Hannah, and she was my, obviously his groomer.
Yeah.
My other schnauzers, I would always be very specific, like with the groomers that I used. Like, do not shave it, do not make it square, just trim it, but nice. I want it as long as you possibly can, because you want that nice established
power. Yep. Like he's Samson or some shit.
Oh yeah, because one time, one of the groomers for my last dog, probably Kaiser, slopped it off straight off, and I almost cried. I was like, what did you do?
What did the dog think?
He was crying with me. We were both crying in the car. And after that, I'm like, made it very specific. Do not cut that beard unless I tell you, and I'll never tell you.
The betrayal.
Oh yeah, it was like Samson,
looking at you.
Samson, like the power is in the hair.
In the hair. That's right.
Yep.
So I'm trying to picture the scene though. Like you pick up the dog, you think everything's fine, right? And you're like, oh, I'm just gonna let my dog. Okay. And this is a big one, a small one?
No, this is one of our small.
Okay.
One, yeah.
So little fella, and you pick up homie, and you're like, cool, nice little trim, and then boom, it's gone.
It's lopped off.
Do you give it to the haircut lady, to the groomer right there? Like, no, what am I bitch, you done wrong.
Yeah, like did you not read the card? Like at that point, it's like, nah, it's done. What's done is done. It's done. Like I just use a different groomer.
I've already been betrayed. My poor dog has been besmirched.
Yeah. And I know
sullied.
I know the feeling.
Right.
Because like during COVID, you couldn't just go. You couldn't leave the house.
Sure.
I asked Hannah. She's a groomer. She works with
dogs.
Clippers. Yeah. Works with dogs. Yeah. And like, can you trim my beard?
Right.
She's like, oh yeah.
It's a very intimate thing. Has very masculine, feminine roles. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a whole thing. Okay, I'm with you.
Good.
Sure, this is good. Nice moment.
And she puts on like the clipper guard stuff on.
Sure.
I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Like, I never used that, but whatever.
Like dogs. Yeah,
I'm not going to question the.
She's a groomer,
professional.
Yeah,
she knows that. She does Jaeger's beard, so of course she can do my beard, right?
Right, sure.
Dude, she went, and it was so bad. Like I almost cried. I was like, what'd you do? Like I was so. I'm speechless.
But that's not the end of the story, because what happened next is she got out the little leash and there was a hook on the ceiling. You know what I mean? And she just lifts up your balls. You're like, wait. What are you doing? No, you don't understand. You got it all wrong. Yeah. I just wanted to trim.
She's doing the what do you call it? The sanitary trim.
Yeah. Like she's going to AKC. Like it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
No.
Like wait, hold on.
No.
Oh man, that was one time she almost saw me like crying. I was like,
damn,
I don't know what to do with this. Like,
that'd have been it.
What'd you just do?
Was it like? Was it like a full grow? Were you like going for?
Yeah, it was a full grow, and I just wanted like nice trim. And she put on the clipper guards
right there,
and it went like down to like where yours.
This is a 5.
Yeah, it went down to like yours. And I was like, I was in tears. I was like, what did you do? Like, I can't have that.
Damn, bro.
She's since learned how to do it, and she's much better. So I will give her credit.
Right.
She took the time to learn.
Right. But that first time.
What
was her?
I'm like, I thought she knew how to do this. Like, you do this for dogs. What do you do?
No, because you gotta brush it. right? You got to brush it, and then
Mhm.
like real like it's
Mhm.
hard, man, because you got to have a steady hand
Yeah.
and then draw the line almost in midair,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's very, very tough.
Apparently, hairstylists also get like really intimidated about doing beards. One time I went to this men's hairstyle salon.
Yeah.
I think I told you this one time. And
yeah.
I was getting my hair done, and the lady said, "Do you mind if I give you the clippers if you trim your own beard?"
That's a free haircut. I don't
Right,
pay
I'm like,
at that point. Here's $5.
Yeah,
Go fuck
no.
yourself.
I mean, he's like, I'm just really nervous because the last guy yelled at me because I didn't do it right. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I trimmed it, and I know how to do my own.
Sure.
But I wanted to ask. There was an intimate a moment for Hannah to be able to do my own thing during COVID. So I was like, sure. But but then I walked away. I trimmed my own beard at that hair salon,
right?
And then and I was like, whatever. I get it. Somebody yelled at you. I'm not gonna fault you for that.
Reopen the wound.
But then she charged me for the beard trim.
Fuck out of here.
At the end, I'm like, wait.
I'm gonna give you pointers. You're gonna watch me, and I gotta pay you.
You should be paying me. I just trained you on how to.
That's like the self-checkout guy at Kroger. Like, I'm gonna give him a tip.
Right.
I bag my own shit. I scanned it myself. I ran my own coupons.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it reminds me of this one time Hannah and her friends, they went out up in Dayton area. They went out to this karaoke bar where you fill your own beer up, your drinks.
Okay.
There's taps. You just go up and then you pay for as many drinks as you filled up.
Okay.
And then they didn't tip because like, well,
who's the tip?
We literally grabbed glasses, poured our own thing. There was nobody even.
And when you're done, you put them in a bin,
right? Something like that.
Okay, sure.
And then apparently, as they walked out, like the security guard or whatever, they all talked. Like, they didn't even tip us. Like, gave him a bad attitude. Said, "Oh, thanks for not giving us any tips or whatever." And he's like we didn't see anybody. Nobody even did anything.
Tip who?
Like,
tip who?
Where's the
for
tip?
what?
Yeah.
Get away from me. I hate shit like that.
Right. Because you guys opened up the location.
Here's the tip. Get a different job if you want a fucking tip.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah, they were all confused. I'm like, well, we literally didn't see anybody. Like, that's not the business model. You literally self-serve.
Dude, just drop change on the floor. I can't. Those are the moments where I'm usually super nice, but it's like in those moments, no. Here's 2 bits.
I think tipping culture is all across the board now. It used to be simple, but after COVID, it's all like, there almost needs to be like a public service announcement that goes out that resets a standard. Because before COVID, you didn't have to tip if you're picking up your own food.
That's dumb.
Like if you're doing
dumb
takeout or carry out.
Yeah.
Well, no, pickup order.
I run in.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
You would obviously tip your server if you got served, and your bartender.
They're doing something, sure. Why not?
But you certainly didn't have to tip at like a Jersey Mike's or one of those outfits, like the fast casual
on them,
right? Yeah. Like, so now you go to like one of these sub places, whatever, right, and then it gives you the option to tip. I'm like, wait, you're like a franchise or something, like. That's almost like McDonald's asking for a tip. Like, wait a second,
not doing it.
Yeah, they should be paying you adequately, right? You're not a small mom and pop,
right?
Even,
right.
And then because of COVID, you would at least tip. Like, if you went to go pick up because everybody's wearing masks.
Sure.
I don't know. Did you tip when you picked up food? I did, just because it was like, okay, they have no other way. They can't serve because you can't go into a location. So I'm gonna just tip because. To help out
it's vastly more empathetic than I was.
Well, yeah. The problem is like that it's become like a norm.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the tolls in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
If you go up the Parkway or Turnpike for that matter, I don't know when I was there just last month, I was shocked. I was like, holy shit, this is like $3.80 or something to go. And it used to be like a 75-cent toll like 10 years ago or something. But apparently they had the tolls because they're like, hey, we got to pay, I don't know how they do these kinds of things, but whatever, the state gets a loan or whatever it is. But like that's been paid back like 30-fold at this point. It's just a racket.
Right.
We're just paying the mobsters at this point, right?
Yeah, right.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's the same thing though. Then you kind of get used to it, and I don't know. There's a toll. You got to pay the toll, right? I guess, right? Everybody pays a toll. You don't even question why it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's same with the tip jar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Like if you're, I'm trying to think of where there's been tip jars. Maybe coffee shops. I feel like there's always been a coffee shop tip.
And
tip jar.
I think that's fair.
Right. I'll give you the change.
Especially like some of these local coffee shops just around the corner. Like, you know, they're not getting paid well. You know that like it's just one employee there having to serve a whole line of people.
Right.
You know, I should have a tip jar. Or have like a tip option. Especially if you're getting to know your barista.
Yeah. Maybe they know your drink.
Right. They know your drink.
Even if
it's like a bartender.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but like you go now, I've seen go to fast food restaurants. It's like you get tipping option. I'm like, well, who am I tipping? And how do I know you're getting this tip? Yeah. This is not going to.
Why is it you though? Why can't I tip like the dude who made it?
You're right.
Right. Like I want to tip that guy.
You're just ringing this up.
Yeah. You just sat here.
They split it up, and all of you guys.
And then you got the balls because you're on the phone. Right. I hate that. Like they asked me for a tip, and they're like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And I've been sitting there for a minute. Bitch, I better have a conversation. You better be charming. You know what I mean? Ask me how especially around here, man. Like it's like that around here. Like I'm used to kind of the countrified effect around here. You know what I mean? People are like, I don't know, slower about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Weather's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Give me the nicety. Right? Yeah, here's 50 cents. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But you better split it. But you know they're not splitting it, bro.
No. And then on top of that, to add salt to wounds is then they ask, do you want to round up to donate to
now you gotta guilt me.
Taco Bell college fund thing.
Dude.
Wait, what the no. I'm not rounding up. The answer is no. Like I'll give you a tip. Get a better job.
Get a better fucking job. Stop doing this.
Don't work at Taco Bell.
Don't do it.
Else.
Yeah.
You know?
It sucks. You smell tacos all the time, man.
Yeah. Like everywhere you turn, do you want to round up? Do you want to round up? It's like, I don't want to round up.
No, how much fucking tax do I got to pay? I got to pay Uncle Sam the tax. I got to pay Ohio the tax. I got the medical thing tax. I got all this FICA. It's all this kind of tax. And then the money that I got paid got taxed, right? So boss man gets taxed. He got fucking taxed on some shit. I get taxed. Now this motherfucker is going to take my money too? Yeah. They're going to pay taxes on it too?
Yeah.
No.
I agree. On top of that, like now food, you can't leave without spending close to $15, $20 on like a couple little meals at fast food restaurants.
Bro, it's like McDonald's, McDonald's across the United States. Mm-hmm. It's like a qualified metric. It's like an actual number, right? That is designated as luxury food, right? McDonald's now qualifies as luxury. Let's really flesh it out just a second, right? As I go off on my fiscal tangent here. Really flesh that out. First of all, McDonald's is just some raggedy ass. We all know what it is. We all know what it is. It's some raggedy ass food. It's probably made from like duck dicks and just whatever, right? You know what I mean? It's not food, but it's yummy. All right. It's covered in salt.
What's it say about me that I like it?
I love it. Big Mac all day. All day. But anyways, my point is it's garbage ass food. So then, but tasty. But then I gotta pay it's a luxury? Only in America, bro.
Yeah, no.
Only in America can you call such shit food that's literally killing us a luxury?
Yeah. Now, is that just McDonald's or is that like all fast food have been approved?
Well, okay. So my hunch is
White Castle, stop it.
White Trash Castle.
I love White Castle, but they should be paying us.
Yeah, you do.
They should be paying us a luxury tax.
Bro. Well, and the tax never ends. Look, it's the money tax, right? So I'm getting hit for the pennies. You're getting my extra shekels, and then I wonder why I can't get my the tattoo or the guitar that I want, right? But then it's also the tax on my body. You know what I mean? It's like this exorbitant amount of salt and sugar and the carbs, and I'm like, it like probably screws up your hormones, right? So now you got the what is that stress hormone? The cortisol levels are all high and shit. You got indigestion. I can't can't sleep. I got acid reflux. Here's another thing. And then you get the commercials every now and again. I don't see them too much because I don't usually watch TV, but it's like, then they're after you with like, you know, do you feel depressed? Do you feel like this? Do you think that? Do you ever see the blue sky? Take this fucking medication. And then how much does it cost, Dr. So-and-so? I don't know. Ask your insurance.
Right. I tell you, and do you want to round up for like, stop,
right?
Like, stop.
It gives me high blood pressure.
I don't want to round up. No.
Anyways, the worst of it, if I haven't had to since Figgy, best bulldog in the world, Figgy passed away, but I haven't bought, you know, dog food and shit like that in a long time. Right? But I'd go there, and I forget the question, but it was the most guilt-ridden. You could all but hear that sad, you know, dying dog music that they have on the commercial.
Like Sarah McLachlan.
The angel, right? That one, all that shit, right? And it was something like, don't you think you should help cancer-ridden dogs, or some wild question? You're just like, but no, I gotta hit no. You made me be an asshole now, you know?
You ever see that there's like some skit like I've caught on like Instagram Reels or something where the machine asks like, do you want to donate? And he's like, no. Are you sure? No.
Yeah.
Like, it goes out like, do you have any friends?
Right. Like, it's really shitty with you. Yeah.
But that's how you feel. You feel like,
I feel terrible. I don't want to say no. You know, I love dogs. Right? I just I don't have it to give. Right. I need food too. You know how much McDonald's is? God damn, I got 3 kids, bro.
Yeah. See, back then it was easy. I had this rule. I learned from my brother, Earl, my oldest brother. I call it the Earl rule.
Okay.
And one thing about me, I don't know if you've ever known this, but like I have rules that I live by in life based off of.
I bet you got a PowerPoint on that shit.
Based off of individuals. And so like I have an Earl rule.
All right.
And Earl taught me, my older brother taught me when I was younger, especially when he, you know, was living in Chicago. Whenever I'd visit, he would take me to like really nice fine dining restaurants.
How much older is
he's 9 years older.
9 years. Okay, gotcha.
And so he'd take me out to, you know, restaurants. I remember one time, what was it, like Atlanta or something, where he visited him there, and then he's like, hey, I gotta go to work, but I got you guys like a ride to take you to the airport. We go out and it's like a limo.
Nice.
I'm like, nice. Okay. Nice. Right. So he knows how to tip.
Hollywood.
So I go, so how do you approach tipping? You know, I asked my brother, and he goes, okay, so here's how it works. 15% tip at the time, like 15% tip. Okay. He's like, if I'm having fun, 50% tip.
Right.
Like if she's having fun, the waitress, you know, 20% tip. If we're all having fun, then you put, you know, whatever, like, you know, right. And I'm like, I like that. So like, I had a good time, good experience, you know, 15%.
Right.
You know, like, oh, well, the waitress was really nice, or waiter was really nice, and we had just really good engagement, you know. Okay, I'll throw in a little, they put a little extra work.
Yeah.
Now, if we're all having fun, the whole, like, it's just a great,
memorable experience. We're coming back.
Okay. You know, at that point, whatever, what do you want?
Right.
You know, just because this was a memorable experience.
Right.
You can't put dollar amounts sometimes to that.
Right.
You know? So sure. Yeah. Right.
Right.
Like, like for example, when Hannah and I were in Illinois, we went to this one bar, and I'm sure you probably saw some of the videos. Like, we're getting ourselves in trouble, like just doing goofy shit. Sure. At the bar, and every time, like, we're just having fun, I'm dancing, doing goofy shit. Hannah was like, "Here's another 20 to the bartender.
We're putting up with this,
right?" I did something else, and he's like, "Yeah, and here's another 20." I mean, we must have gave him $100 in tips,
right?
But the point being that, like, okay, he has to clean up this shit. He has to stay afterwards. He has to put not only that, but allow us to do this. Like, you know, if they're dicks, they wouldn't allow you to do some of the things that we're doing, right? But here, so Hannah being Hannah, she's like, you know what? You deserve this. You deserve this because you got to stay afterwards to clean up this mess.
Putting up with this bullshit.
And then later on, like, you know, we come to find out he told some of the other, our brothers there that, oh, I love those Ohio guys. Man. Right? It's memorable. Yeah. But because we're all having fun, it's like a whole big thing. So that's my Earl rule.
That's a good rule.
But it gets harder now because, like, how does that rule apply to, the tip screen that comes up and you didn't do shit?
Not a goddamn thing, man. Yeah, no.
Or here's another interesting one, right? So you go to Skyline, and I know you're not a Skyline fan, but I am. You go to Skyline now, you can't get away without spending like $15-$18 for some cheese conies, a regular size really? Chili meal. Yeah, $15-$18, right?
Okay.
So when you do all that, and then you're like, okay, I have to, I ate, in the location, in the restaurant. Yeah. Now I got to go and cash out or whatever, pay off. Yeah. And then they ask you, do you want a tip? Well, you're just like, wait a second. Like when you add that all up, it's like I'm tipping like $4, $3-4, $4, 15%, 20%. Yeah. Off of what did you do? You just
handed shit over.
Right. Yeah. And so it's like, back then it was when the prices were lower. Right. Well, that's about $1. Right. Okay, that makes sense. About $1.50 tip. Well, now it's so much more than like $3-4. Like, I don't know if that is worth the tip.
That's not,
no, that's 15-20%.
It's not, dig it like this, right? If you look at, if somebody's got it, right? I mean, they really got it. Mm-hmm. These days, if you're pushing 200K in your like personal income, then I'm like, all right, you've got it. Unless you're living like a madman, right? So, all right, let's say it's that, and you're asking for this, $4 or $5 on a Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Skyline kind of meal, right? So it's just a Tuesday night. The wife didn't feel like cooking. I said it. The wife didn't feel like cooking. And and so you go out, right? All right, old man's got it. No problem. Here you go, kid, right? And just some nerdy, 15-year-old working a shift. He hates it. He's stoned out of his mind. Good for him, right? Here's $5. But is that really fair for the rest of us mere mortals out there? You know what I mean? The working stiffs. You really gonna charge a plumber this? Yeah, I shouldn't even say plumber. Plumbers are killing right now. Yeah, but just somebody working at Amazon. You know what I mean? They humped all day long, throwing packages, earning whatever they can earn. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're going to ask for, what, 25 an hour they're making, something like this, right? Which these days, it's good, but it's not like crazy money, right? And then you're going to ask for like a 5 spot out of their per hour. That's not even, that's their gross. That's not even their net. Yeah. That's a big ask, man. Yeah. You're asking for like 15 to 20 minutes worth of my work. Yeah. You didn't do fucking nothing. Like you just went, there you go. The onion rings in the cup thingy that you didn't make. You didn't make any of this stuff at all. Right. It's all pre-made, pre-packaged. What? Yeah. No, you're not getting a tip. Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to be that guy until the end of the time. Well, okay, let's throw another wrench in this whole thing. What about like DoorDash? Tipping DoorDash? Because, dude, first of all, that's a premium. When you use DoorDash, you're spending a lot. So now that Skyline thing that you just spent, you would typically spend $15 plus another $3-4 for tip when you're in there. Yeah. If you want them to DoorDash just down the street, where is it? Down the street from over there, it would be another like $30-35 for them to DoorDash there. And then it says, do you want to tip your dasher? Like, okay, another what? What do you go off of? $30 because that's $6 I'm going to tip off of, or do you go off of the $15 that it would cost if I ordered it there? By the way, I never ever DoorDash. Yeah, ever. I did once, but just because I didn't have a car, my car was broke down at the time, so I just had no choice, right? But I never DoorDash. How is it applicable? So okay, if I DoorDash, if I'm like, man, I need me a Starbucks. I just need a Starbucks. Which, by the way, go get the coffee. But I need to start. Is it like $5 from point A to point B? Or does it depend on the item that you've gotten? It depends. They charge you. Well, remember, it depends on the items because the pricing is different. So like, just let's say, fuzzy numbers here. Let's say it's $2 for this if you buy at the store. Well, now it's going to be like $4 because you got that some money has to go to them, some money has to go to the DoorDash, some money has to go to the Dasher. Okay. Right? So it's more. And then they have to calculate the trip and all that.
So you're just adding more and more variables to the cost.
Gotcha.
So now what may have cost you $2 to get that small drink,
Yep.
now it could be like $10 to get that small drink.
So if I may,
and again, fuzzy numbers, I'm not,
so now I'm thinking to myself, well, if I'm going to DoorDash anything, right? If I were to get, I realize that at Kroger, getting groceries, there's grocery delivery too, but never mind that. Let's just say if I was to try and do the math, right, I would say I would get so many cups of coffee out of a bag of ground coffee that I could get from Kroger, right? And I were to DoorDash that, right? And even the cream and the sugar and the flavored whatever, all the stuff I like, right? And I'm going hog wild too, man. It's all Starbucks. It's like $50 worth of stupidity, right? So cool. So, but point is, I mean, one bag of coffee, bro, I could have 100 cups. Yeah. You know what I mean? I couldn't drink that much coffee in one day.
So when you look at it from that standpoint, it doesn't make sense at all.
At all.
At all.
Just go get my coffee.
It doesn't make any sense. You might as well just throw your money out the window because it makes it's only based off of convenience and just how valuable is your time. So, okay, my time to go into two Kroger's will be 15 minutes to get there. Then I got to spend another 30 minutes or whatever. And then, of course, I'm going to buy more stuff. Right. And then 15 minutes back. And then you add the gas. And then I just don't want to do that. I hate shopping. Right. And so convenience, I value my time. Yeah. I'd rather pay somebody else. And then you add on top of that, there's a snowstorm coming. And I hate driving at night in the snow or the rain. So I'd rather just pay the extra fee to have somebody come and do it for me. It all depends. And that's the only way that the value in what the service. Other than that, you're spending a lot of money. You're spending a lot of money.
That sounds ridiculous. It sounds like, first of all, we're sitting on thrones at that point. You know what I mean? We're like, peasant, go get me my meat. And they just run off, but they're charging like double. Is that what I'm to understand? Right? It can't be that on a grocery order. Because if somebody goes and picks your groceries at Kroger and you spend $100, now I could charge you $50 for getting your groceries. I can't imagine. Right? That would be crazy. So I could see how the more shit you get, maybe the cheaper the cost to do that. Right? I could maybe be convinced hey, you should get that. But if you're just getting literally a single cup of coffee, which is already overpriced to begin with. Right. You're paying.
You might as well add on stuff to that order just so
that it's worth getting
to a certain extent. Yeah. Oh. But again, there's certain conveniences. I remember if I'm riding from here to our tattoo shop, which is maybe 45 minutes away. Yeah. And I want to buy staff some pizzas because they've been tattooing all day or whatever. Right. And I'm not going to go pick up pizzas while I'm riding my motorcycle. Yeah. So how convenient it is. I'm riding over there. I hit along the traffic light. Oh, DoorDash pizza at this place. It'll be in 30 minutes. Boom. Submit. Done. Put it in. Light turns green. And I ride off. I get there. Pizza's there. Okay. So is that worth the extra, $20 I had to spend on that pizza? Yeah,
maybe. All right, maybe. But as a business owner, then there's a whole different dynamic there. Right. Now, this is not just your own personal laziness. Right. You're not just sitting at home you know what I mean? You're laying on your fainting couch. Yeah. I believe I need a mocha latte and you know what I mean? And all that, right? That's a different thing. I can't. Wait. That's weird you say that about pizza, though, because pizza places deliver, right?
Well, yeah, they deliver, but now...
is there a competition there?
I don't know. If I need delivery now for pizza, I just DoorDash it. So I don't even know if delivery people do have their own delivery.
Pizza Hut has to, I don't know. Domino's delivers. I mean, I see the little...
I don't know anymore.
Thing on the cars. I know.
So they do?
Yeah. Okay.
I imagine, yeah. But some of these smaller pizza places, no. I mean, you got to pay for insurance. You got to make sure you get drivers who are competent and not going to get in accidents. I mean, there's a lot of liability there.
I mean, I delivered pizza that was some of my first jobs. And I don't know anything about insurance, or I don't know nothing about any of that shit, dude. All I know is I shouldn't have been driving. I definitely dropped many of you. Like I would hit the brakes and the pizza just slide down off the front seat. Bam.
Yeah.
And all the cheese would be on one side.
Oh, well.
All right. Shake
it. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. I know one thing, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like services like Uber Eats or DoorDash, not going anywhere.
God, that's a massive.
I was tempted to call to have Hannah call Shannon one night because we wanted some stuff, and I was like, you know what? How much is this order? Just call Shannon.
Yeah,
pay her. At least it's going to a friend. Yeah, you know,
she gets done working.
She's in that area. It's like
take all, dude. She'll take all that money. Yeah, we're like, bitch, don't be paying like stranger.
Calculated what it is for DoorDash. How much more are we spending than if we were to go ourselves and just say, give that to Shannon, or have somebody, another friend, just hey, I'll pay you this much money if you pick up, 2 Ben and Jerry ice creams for us. Right. Okay.
I mean, you could expect she'd talk a little shit though. On the way. She wouldn't even hand it to you, just throw it over
that's
the thing.
That's the thing.
Lazy motherfucker just talks.
That's the thing. She doesn't care if she gets 1-star review. No, lazy. Here, take it.
Eat it, fatty. Like, what? Thanks.
See, these are DoorDash. Like, you gotta serve with a smile, or else we'll get them a bad rating. I can't give Shannon a bad rating. 1-star review, bitch. Last time I'm using you.
I don't care. Eat your ice cream, bitch.
Yeah. Who orders 2 ice creams? It has.
I know you're alone in there, motherfucker.
Right? Yeah.
The dogs eat it before you can even get to it. Anyways.
So needless to say, I did not call Shannon.
No.
She'd be judging me the whole
time. Like, you don't need this. She'd be texting you as you shouldn't eat this. Mm-hmm. This is not good. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, the dashing. So yeah, I delivered pizza. By the way, one of the funnest jobs. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm a billionaire, no longer need to work, I'm going to deliver pizza or something like that. Yeah. Right. Maybe it'll be door dashing that. Right. Because it's just so much fun. I just love.
Why is it fun? You're stuck in a car the whole time.
Well, I would listen to music.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was great. I just listened to music the whole time.
Me driving, that's not fun to me.
Oh.
Riding is different. Riding my motorcycle, yes, but driving, no.
Dude.
There's nothing more eye gouging in my life than driving.
I don't know if I like any. You know what? Hold on.
I do it, and I do it like a pro. I'm constantly driving everywhere.
Right, and you're,
but
with everything you own in your car.
Yeah, that's true.
But with a stick shift, like when I was a kid, you know what I mean? When I was 17 to about 21-ish, thereabouts. And I had the stick shift. I had the Chevy S10, and which unfortunately met a ditch. Just driving around, like trying to figure out, like I'd cut through neighborhoods, but I also drove like a maniac. You know what I mean? I was a young kid. So I'm doing like 50 down some neighborhood street, you know what I mean? Cutting through people's driveways and shit. But it was fun because it was, how fast can I get there? Yeah. You know what I mean? And then the faster you get there, the more tip you get, right? Which I deserve because I did something and I just didn't hand you a bunch of onion rings that were, old. Yeah. So anyways, so the DoorDash. All right. The dynamic of the DoorDash, like I was saying before, when I was a pizza guy, there wasn't all this oversight. You know what I mean? Like the worst thing or the best
thing. There needed to be some oversight.
Because luckily there was not.
Right.
Luckily, Freehold PD. So no, but the only oversight was the boss. You know what I mean? If you take too long dicking around, right, you get an earful from him, or you lose your job, or you get a attaboy way to make some money, and that's it, right? Yeah. As compared to DoorDash and Uber and everything else like that, where it's like they got you on lockdown, man. Like they're, you know what I mean? They're like the measurables here. You know what I mean? The time in the car and all the tech that goes along with it.
Yeah.
The service of that product, right? Never would have seen that coming, right?
No,
None of us did.
I think that's amazing though, like Uber and all that stuff.
Right.
I think it's genius.
Yeah.
Because you're incentivized to try to, be quick about your service.
Right.
You're incentivized, to maintain a good 5-star rating.
Yep.
You're incentivized to, and you can make a career around it.
Right.
People do it whether a side hustle or a legit career. I see people who, especially like in Vegas, where like people have been retired, but like they just, what else are they going to do? They just work for Uber or DoorDash and do something. At least they're making money.
3-4 hours a day or something.
And especially in a place like Vegas where you're constantly being used, there's really no downtime.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's just, you're just clocking money the whole time. The question is, how long can you endure?
Right. Yeah.
And endure all the drunkards or the people, making on your back seat or throwing up, and you're,
just standing up the back seat. Man. Yeah, I think it's different. It's certainly different these days. The service, it's like a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like bringing stuff to people. There's a whole hustle to it. The tech interface wasn't even available, right? Because what if it's 1998?
Yeah,
right. And I'm 17 years old. What am I going to like? What's being tracked?
Yeah,
right. GPS was barely even a thing.
Yeah,
I forget Garmin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
you had to upload the chips all the time,
right? And like the maps, it was all basically analog, really. So how are you going to track any of it, right? And then so here's the real hustle in, I would say, the DoorDash thing. And a lot of those things is like the experience part, right? So where I'm going to is the product and or the service. If it's one of those things where they're kind of mixed together, right? With like a DoorDash thing, is like it's so white hot on the edge of the best it can be, because there's this constant feedback loop. That's a really, really tight loop of like a person using it to the feedback to the people who make the shot callers at the company itself. And then they're like, oh yeah, that does suck here. And then they fix it. Right?
Yeah.
That white hot feedback loop is kind of the, that's the anacrusis of the whole story of like the DoorDashes and a bunch of other companies. I mean, we're saying DoorDash because that's kind of a weird dynamic in the past so many years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Apple, Amazon, a ton of companies, man. Zappos, like all these companies, they have
instant feedback loop,
instant, right? And what contributes to that with a good amount of that, I don't know who started it, Chick-fil-A, is that a lot of those C-suite executive shot caller type positions, managerial positions, are tied to you having done the service. And I don't mean like it's no new thing to be like, I started in the mailroom, I worked my way up, and then I became VP of whatever. Right? Okay, sure. This is a story old as time.
Yeah.
Right. But by the time you started at here, right, when you were 22 years old, fresh out of college, and you land VP of whatever at 42 years old, right? That could have been 1970 to 1990. Gee whiz, buddy, like the world's a different world at that point, right?
Oh, yeah.
So not only has your business changed, but like the world itself has changed, right? And thereby the business's placement in the world, right? Okay. So by the time you get to that point, you can technically say, as a VP of whatever, or the VP of the company, you can say, well, I started up in a mailroom and I had every position in this joint, so I know a thing or two, Sonny, so don't you tell me, right?
Yeah.
Now that has a little bit of veracity, right? There's a little truth to that, but it's like, hey, old man, and I say old man, I'm 44, but anyways, hey, old man, you haven't done that shit in 20 years, right, in the mailroom, and you haven't had this position since then, and that position since then, and so forth and so on and so on, right? And maybe it's not 1970 to 90, but if you go 2000 to 2020, technological advances being what they are, that guy can't do that job.
No, not at all.
You don't know the first
There's
thing.
a disconnect. Yeah.
A massive disconnect, right?
Yeah.
So back to how this translates to like the companies we're talking about, these big, massive companies with their corporate bubbles. It's like, how do you find what the client and customer experience is if you are so far just out in left field on your ivory tower.
Ivory tower, yeah.
Right. And I mean, it's like fair enough, man. It's not like we're all mad, like, oh, you bastard, you worked really hard. And
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, good for you, man. You're really smart. You must have done something right. But for them to get meaningful change does not have to be a huge cycle now. Mm-hmm. It's like, and it's weird that those companies have programs. The DoorDash is WeDash. Mm-hmm. WeDash, that's the DoorDash program. Okay. Right? So that's where everybody in the organization, I think they started in 2013, everybody in the organization has got to, every now and again, I think it's a couple of times, 4 times a year, has to dash. Huh. They have to dash.
Okay.
All right. So
then what? They have to.
So first of all, it's like culturally, right? But this to me would be the easiest of them all, mm-hmm. because it's I guess I'd kind of say it's the least impactful. Mm-hmm. Right, because people are cynic. They're like, to fucking DoorDash something, and their cousin lives down the street. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. I know, like living in Beverly Hills. No, I had to DoorDash. I had to get the mocha latte, almond milk, down to my cousin's 3 miles away. But you drove through Hollywood, like the nice part of Hollywood, right? There's no fucking fires, no flipped over cars, right? They're not shooting at you. Yeah. You're fine, right? Yeah. So you do that 4 times a year, and the experience of the common driver who's driving down Southside Chicago. Yeah, fuck out of here, right? Yeah. So. All right, that's why I'm kind of like, all right, maybe you get a little cultural thing where you kind of get everybody's in it. Okay, yeah, I dash too. I know it can be hard, and okay, fine. But if it's like maybe the technology is a little fugazi, and it's like, oh, our dashers are saying that, whatever. It's like it's not maybe accurate. Right? It's not clocking my miles right, or it's not doing this right. So bottom line, there's like a tech issue. Maybe you don't know unless you're there doing it. Yeah. Right. So then now you're door dashing and you're like, oh yeah, son of a bitch. This, they were right. Yeah. Shit. We got to fix that. Yeah. Right? Only now it's like, you're the dude. You can actually tell somebody, your chief of technology, be like, hey man, I saw it myself. You're doing something wrong. Fix it.
You need to fix this. Yeah.
Right. So, and that's a hell of a lot more meaningful, feedback in the loop. So I find that interesting. I find it interesting too that a lot of times those are tied to promotions. You cannot, get promoted, or you're not even
do
eligible.
A few dash,
and it's others too. Yeah. I'm thinking, I don't know if it was Apple. I think it's Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Amazon's interesting though because they have like where the work is, like where the majority of the work is in a few concentrated type of spots, meaning there's a warehouse floor, right? You're literally humping packages, right? So that's one. And then there's a few others that stand out, but like call center, that's another one. It's just high volume. It's got to be stressful as hell. Yeah. I like that because I guess.
So what, like the Amazon employees, executives, whatever, they got to work at like
they got they got to
answer some phone calls.
The work call center, a warehouse, and I think there was another spot as well. That's just when you look at the spread of employment in an Amazon,
it's different, yeah.
And the real thing is like, all right, well, Jesus, there's cities worth of people working in the warehouses. Yeah. Right. There's cities worth working in the call center. Right. And maybe 1 or 2 other spots in the organization where as you look at the, the C-suites and the management, it's like, it's really not that big per se, So you cannot get promoted unless you've kind of done your time.
Now with the DoorDash, for example, is it just 4 dashes or 4 days of dashing? Because dashing for a lot. I mean, that
you put in 8 hours
endurance. You gotta, you're starting to get frustrated towards the end. Right. Like, so is it 4 dashes or 4 days of dashes?
All as I understand was 4 dashes.
See that,
but I feel like 4 days would be reasonable. I hope it's 4 days.
Yeah, that would make a little more sense because then you could appreciate like, oh man, this is hard. How many hours did I spend? I'm exhausted having to get the items and the frustrations working with the restaurateurs and getting the items.
People and then mocha latte didn't have the thing.
Like that would make a little bit more sense so that they could truly appreciate, what is all involved for a dasher. Yeah. But no, I think that's good. I think that's a good culture thing too for companies, especially of that size before you get promoted. you got to spend some time in the field.
Yeah.
I think there's some good that comes out of that. I mean, I look even with myself, like you're talking about the guy who worked in the mailroom and then worked their way up. Like,
yeah.
When I first started this, it was literally in my basement, and it was myself, and I had like nothing was digitized.
Right.
So other than like using emails,
Right.
So an email would come in, the request. I would take that email, print it out. I'd put it in this. I bought these big see-through folders for projects.
Right.
Just put it in there, and then if there's any change orders, we want this color, that color to the logo. I'd print that out, put it in there.
Yeah.
I'd move it from the intake to guys, go to this designer. Mm-hmm. And then I'd walk back, I'd email the designer or call the designer. Okay, here are the changes they want.
Right.
All right. Designer made the changes. Here's the proof. I'd print it out, put it in the folder. Now it goes to the client, and then I'd walk to my computer. All right, here's the thing. Send it out. So then I would always physically see these folders moving from client to me to designers to copywriters. And then 2000 and I want to say 2015. I got a new VP, and he's like, okay, we're going to digitize all this stuff because this whole moving folders is like a bear for everybody.
Right.
And then they did that. And then, like you said, like the more everything went online, the more I'm like, okay, I don't even know what they're doing. I'm just glad that there's a finished product at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I know what it was like, because I had to physically move and then go to talk to the client and have meetings with the client, and I had to do all of that.
It's funny. So I just said the example of, when I started and the mailroom guy, and then he becomes the head chief, right? So like, it's funny though, relative to technology, how by the way, the team is killer, so don't get it wrong. But if our team had to go back to what it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they would not be happy.
In fact, it would almost be impossible. It would be certain impossible. Skill sets would break down.
It would be impossible. Yeah. There'd be there's tiers now. There'll be a lot of tiers because we had a big magnetic board. Yeah. I remember we had a big wall magnetic board once we started adding people. Right. And we bought these magnetic strips. Yeah, and then where you could slide in. Oh yeah, placard type things. Right. And so the project manager at the time had to write. You know how we have codes? Yeah. Had to write LBA dash poster 001 or whatever, right. And then put it up in the magnetic board. Yeah. It was entered into production. It was with the copywriter, and then throughout the day, this project manager had to move it. Okay, it's now at the designer. Okay, sent to Ernie. Ernie reviewed it, went back, made some changes, and then now it's just back to Ernie. He approved it. Goes to the account manager. Account manager sends it to the client. Client has edits. So he's this one project. He's sliding this magnetic thing on his big wall. Now you add 50 projects. So he's like, bah, 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 da, 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 da. It's like, it was literally manual.
Chaos.
Yeah. Right. And then we went from that to now Zoho. Yeah. We use the Zoho project stuff. It's great. Right. And, now Steph moves everything. It's all digital. Yeah. But digital. And I always loved it because I love being able to wake up in the morning, have my coffee, and be like, okay, where's everything at? Oh, hey,
it feels like something's moving.
Right. Okay, why is that here? This should not be under this column. We need that's been sitting there for so long. We got to move it back here. Right. Where it's hard digitally, and I'm like an old cadre at this point. I'm only 48, but I'm like, okay, where's everything? I don't know where everything is. I just have to call, Steph and say, Steph, hey, how are we doing on projects? Or she'll call me. It's more likely she'll call me and say, hey, Ernie, like, there's a project waiting for you to approve. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Yeah. I gotta click the tabs, go in there. Yeah. So now, it's hard for one. They can't appreciate how things have improved. The team. Yeah. But on the other hand, because I have to remind them, you got to see where we were. Yeah. I get you're frustrated with where things are, but you got to see where things were.
Right.
On the other hand, I have to appreciate, okay, but yet we got to keep on progressing. We got to keep on improving.
Yeah.
And so you don't know, nor do you care anymore where we were,
Right.
because
This is what it is.
This is what it is now.
Yeah.
And so where do you want production to be? How do you want production to be improved so that tomorrow and a year from now it's much better, right? And so I have to realize that no, we got to constantly improve. And like I may not be talking to like we're becoming a DoorDasher per se,
right,
in that example, but I do have to every once in a while go and talk to designers and copywriters or a production manager. Okay, hey, how things going? Oh, there's frustration with the systems and where things are located. Okay, do we have a solution for that?
Yeah.
You know, okay, we gotta, maybe I need to jump in there and we got to figure out how to improve this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, so I can relate to that. And if you don't address that, it just becomes like something we don't attend to. Well, then that does impact culture. Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that even with the DoorDash, like no, it's going. Okay, we made this much money. It's fine. What do we got to fix? Like, no, you got to keep on improving things. And if that requires you to have to dash yourself or go to the warehouse for Amazon and move some boxes to really appreciate why this needs to be fixed, well then fucking go.
Yeah.
Go. So you can see, okay, this is an issue.
Like it reminds me of what's that movie? Shit. Elemental, I think is the name of the movie. It's like a cartoon type movie. And it's like the fire chick is in love with the ice guy or something, or water guy, something like that. Anyway, so the fire chick puts her hot, fiery hands on this like sand, right? Turns it into glass. The glass holds back this cracked water dam. It's like a canal or something in the movie. And so, yeah, it's just like you're saying. It's like eventually that's going to give out.
Yeah.
We know it in the movie, obviously, right? It's only a kid's movie. It's not that difficult. But we know it in the movie, and you're like, oh, you're going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
You're going to have to. And sure enough, it gives out. It's a flood, and it's a whole big problem. But the flood is the floodgate on the business.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like, oh, no. Yeah, well, you've got a tech issue you should have dealt with last year, and now Amazon's going to come in and buy your whole goddamn company.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You've lost all your momentum, your leverage, and your shit out of luck. Yeah, man. Yeah, but if not for technology, back to your example of like analog 20 years back, right, or 15 years back, that feedback, it just doesn't happen that fast. Yeah. It seems. Yeah. Right. It just doesn't happen that fast. This is a separate example, but just speaking of like C-suites messing with the working stiffs in their companies. I watched, for no good reason, I've been getting Undercover Boss shorts.
Yeah.
I never watched the show.
You never watched the show?
I never watched the show.
Some of it's a bit like, come on, how do you not know that's the CEO? You know,
and these cameras, this is an older show, right? I mean, the cameras are still big enough.
Yeah.
Like what's the ruse? Somebody's following you around, Susie? Get the fuck out of here, right? Nobody cares. Anyway, so, and it's always very heartwarming, you know, because everybody's crying and I got my sister's sick and my dog just died and all this shit. It's like, here's 15 grand. It's like, I'm just going to have some haters at the job. Like they never show you the after effect. Cause I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, if Susie just got 15K, bro,
why not for everybody
What about
else?
Bobby and Pete?
Right.
They're pissed off now. They're like, where's my 15? I'm in a 5 spot. Like you can't give me a little money. I got problems too.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm working hard.
Yeah. Well, what I always like though is where they might give a gift, but then they say, but we are committed to building a program, a training program.
There you go. We're going to fix the problem.
Yeah,
so it doesn't happen again.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Because it almost feels like hush money at that point. It's like, here's 15. Stop your bitching. Get back under there with the rats, stupid. I'm going to go back in my Ferrari.
Yeah. But I do think like part of culture, and I always say, you know, marketing, culture plays an element in good marketing and branding, right? If you have poor culture, but you're saying this a narrative that you are about people and caring for people, but the culture sucks internally because you're not listening, you're not engaging, you're not on the field, right? Yeah. It will eventually deteriorate your message, your overall message. In more ways than one. Yeah, and so I like that. I like hearing that, what you just said, that DoorDash encourages them to still be dashers, even if you are an executive.
The kind of line, I guess, tagline that stuck out was that understanding leads to innovation.
Mm-hmm.
While that sounds right on its face,
Mm-hmm.
it seems prolific when you think of those who in the distant past would have subscribed to such an idea.
Yeah.
Who I think of might be like a Ford or somebody, where like real pioneer, like standout pioneer of industry, right? To have conceived of such an idea and then to, I mean, God, no choice but to like manually refine it, and be in it every single fucking day on the floor, watching the conveyor belt. And you know what I mean?
Yep.
And while the dynamic is different, because like technology isn't there to like, I don't know, give you instantaneous feedback and all these kinds of things. Like, Henry Ford would have had no choice but to been on the line, right? But there's something about the understanding, I might even say the empathy, right? For the workers, for the business, for the customers, for all the parties involved, that empathy then leads to this deep, profound understanding, which then leads to the innovation. It's like, how are we going to solve these problems?
Yep.
And I give a shit enough to actually solve them for real. Not just kind of like, I don't know, put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which seems to be often the case. Yeah. Right? I don't know if that's laziness or lack of attention to detail. I don't know what that is, but it's weird that it's not.
What's interesting to me, like what I've been really thinking about something that one of our board members shared at one of our last meetings.
Yeah.
And Cam said, fear loves vague. I've been really thinking about that. Fear loves vague.
Right.
And it's been like playing on repeat in my head that like, if you don't want to address something or you want to think things are good, just keep everything vague.
Yeah.
But if you really want progress, if you really want growth, if you really want to understand, you got to look at the details. You have to be very hyper focused on all the numbers and all the the ins and outs of business, or else you're not going to progress. But if you're going to live in fear, okay, then stay vague, right? And I think it kind of applies a little bit to this too. Where like if you're just looking at the numbers, the bottom line numbers or top line revenue coming in, you're like, wow, we improved,
right?
And you don't want to go and DoorDash. You don't want to go down in the field or the warehouse because you're afraid of what's going to be revealed there. The frustrations, the emotions, the errors. Right. Because what happens is the more you do that kind of stuff, things are going to surface. Yeah. And a lot of people, me included, I don't want to see all the stuff that's surfacing. Yeah. And so I don't want to go into those.
Yeah. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Everything's good. Look at the top line revenue. Things are great. Things are, right. In the meantime, I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to look at the details, right? That's right. But if you really want to progress, and it kind of speaks to that innovation, then you're gonna immerse yourself into the details and the emotions and everything that doing that field experience has to offer. It's going to force you to say, okay, there's things that need to be improved upon. There's innovations that we need to develop in order to solve these problems, right? And then that's how you progress. And so, unfortunately, like even for myself, if I want the agency to grow and to become what I know it can be, right. I have to uncover all these different things. I got to look at and address these issues that it's hard to address, because you have to also admit that, I haven't been looking there, right, for a reason. Well,
so it puts me in mind of it's like all right, the layers of the onion are this, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, let's say that there's a perceived success at the top, right? And let's say that there's a particular percentage of the world that looks at that. Let's say a third, right? We'll use that old rule. And we'll say a third of people will look at that take it at face value, and just kind of, unless they have somebody around to, I don't know, dig into the numbers, or out of their morbid curiosity or something, like they'll never know, right? And one day they'll realize that the hollowness, that the tree was hollow after all.
Yeah.
Right. And the last thing to die was the fruit. Right.
Yep.
And you're the last one eating the fruit. In other words, your team knew it. Right. And everybody around you knew it. But you just were, deaf, dumb, and blind, didn't see it. Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's the top third. Right. There's surface. And then as you kind of go deeper, it's maybe those who, they see the crack in the dam because they do care. They're cognizant, and this is like, I feel it's like a varied kind of depth, right? But let's just say whether they see the problem and they're like, fuck, I you know what? I'm cashing out. Or it's like, I've done everything I can, I'm cashing out. But at some point it breaks them, right? It's just like, I don't know, right? And they let go. And then the last one is, like you're saying, it's like, but and then they stick around, they figure it out, and either they figure it out and they realize I can't, but I did try, I gave it the honest effort, or they do figure it out. But the thing is that it's like, in the person making the decision is a certain strength of character as well, and a certain amount of empathy and kind of just genuine giving a shit, because it's like, just because you walk away from something doesn't mean you don't care about it. Yeah. Right. Maybe you're just emotionally not ready to meet the moment. Yeah. Right. And just because you, on the other side of it, are like, no, I'm gonna figure this out. Yeah. Maybe you're emotionless like a shark, but you're just stubborn as hell. You know what I mean? Yeah. So none of it's right or wrong. It's just kind of an observation. Yeah. Like it can be all those things, and it really depends like who's leading the. It really depends. Show, I
mean, but there could be some huge catastrophic implications if you don't don't pay attention to this type of stuff. Yeah. Have you ever heard the whole Pinto story? We always talk about like a Pinto car.
I know why they're famous.
Is horrible, know. But the truth of the matter, the engineers told the investors, told the executive team that like, we believe after studying the researching it that the engines are going to blow up. Like, we need to do a recall.
They just said it. Yeah, right.
And then they showed it, and the investors like, nope, I'm not doing a recall. Cash in the money. Right? Then they said, all these cars
morally corrupt.
Right.
Morally corrupt.
Okay, and that's why, if you're talking about a trashy dump of a car, you bring up the Pinto.
That's what it is. Even to this day. To this day. I don't think I've ever even seen a Pinto.
Right. But they were notified. Right. They just decided not to look too close to those details.
Yeah. Certain. Yeah. It's
so it can be catastrophic. Right. Right. Yeah. And so now this is usually not always that catastrophic, but like if you fix these little details, how much stronger of a company will you be if you address that? If you look at it from the consumer's point of view, So yeah.
That was a good one.
Yep. That was good.
Yeah. Well, I feel like for as a rare moment when I feel like there's more to say on it, but it's a vast topic. Yeah. Right. I want to go off that, but I like that idea, man. Yeah. It takes a certain strength of character to look as you're going along, especially if you're doing okay too. If like you're making money and you feel like you're making forward progress, it's kind of the last thing you want to do is like really check under the hood because of what you'll find, like, oh man, don't ruin the buzz, like let me just enjoy the moment. But it's better to have like a little bit of disappointment with some joy rather than have your whole fucking party end one day and you're crying. So anyways, that's our sage advice for today. So let's get out of here on that. From the iconic era of advertising to the digital age, I'm Chris.
And I'm Ernie.
Keep it legendary.